The Dominion's Pride, flagship of the Zerathi Imperial Navy, hung in space like a crystalline cathedral. Its bioluminescent hull pulsed with authority as it approached the small blue-green world that had somehow managed to develop faster-than-light communication without permission from the Empire. Admiral Zekthara, resplendent in his ceremonial exoskeleton, stood before the viewing port with all 6 arms clasped behind his carapace. His compound eyes glittered with anticipation. In his 3 centuries of service, he had overseen the integration of 47 species into the Empire. This would be 48. "Sir," his communications officer chittered, "we're receiving a response to our standard integration demand." "Put it through," Zekthara commanded, his mandibles clicking with satisfaction. The usual protocol was simple: arrive, demonstrate superiority, present the terms of surrender, and accept the inevitable submission. Most species took less than a solar cycle to capitulate once they witnessed the Empire's technological might. The main screen flickered to life, revealing a human female seated at what appeared to be a primitive desk. She had short brown hair and wore a simple blue uniform. Behind her, other humans moved about in what seemed to be organized chaos. "Greetings, Admiral Zekthara of the Zerathi Empire," the human said, consulting a data pad. "I'm Commander Sarah Chen of Earth's United Defense Force. We've reviewed your integration proposal." Zekthara straightened to his full 3-meter height. "Then you understand the futility of resistance. Your primitive vessels cannot match our—" He stopped mid-sentence because Commander Chen had begun to laugh. Not the bitter laugh of despair he had heard from countless doomed civilizations. Not the nervous giggle of species trying to bargain for mercy. This was something else entirely. A genuine, delighted belly laugh that seemed to bubble up from the human's core. "Oh my," she said, wiping tears from her eyes. "I'm sorry, Admiral. It's just, you're exactly like Commander Rodriguez said you'd be." Zekthara's eyes narrowed. "Rodriguez?" "Yeah, about 6 months ago, one of your scout ships encountered our colony ship Magellan near the Proxima system. Your commander gave the exact same speech, word for word, actually. Primitive vessels, futility of resistance, the whole thing." Chen's grin widened. "Rodriguez was our maintenance chief. He'd never commanded anything bigger than a repair crew, but he thought it would be funny to play along." The bridge of the Dominion's Pride fell silent except for the soft hum of life support systems. "Play along?" Zekthara's voice dropped to a dangerous whisper. "Oh yes. See, Rodriguez used to be in theater before he went into engineering. Real ham, that guy. So when your scout demanded surrender, he put on this whole performance. 'Oh no, we're just simple colonists. Please don't hurt us. We'll submit to your mighty empire.'" Chen chuckled again. "Your scout commander was so pleased with himself, he gave Rodriguez a data packet with all your standard integration protocols. You know, as a courtesy to a newly conquered species." Zekthara's carapace began to flush a dangerous shade of crimson. "Impossible. Our security protocols are designed for species that fear you," Chen interrupted, still smiling. "But here's the thing, Admiral. We've spent the last 6 months studying your empire, and honestly, we're not impressed." The human leaned forward, her expression shifting from amused to analytical. "Your technology is about 300 years behind ours. Your faster-than-light drives are inefficient. Your weapons are overpowered but inaccurate, and your tactical doctrine hasn't evolved since you conquered your first world. You've been coasting on fear and intimidation for so long that you've forgotten how to actually fight." "You dare," Zekthara began, but Chen held up a hand. "We checked with 17 species you've integrated. Turns out most of them were already in decline when you showed up. Economic collapse, resource depletion, internal conflicts, you're basically galactic vultures, picking off dying civilizations and taking credit for conquest." Behind Chen, another human approached and whispered something in her ear. Her smile grew even wider. "Oh, this is perfect. Admiral, I've just received word from our friends in the Kepler system. You remember the Zephyrians? Tall, blue, tentacle-faced folks? They used to be part of your empire until about an hour ago." Zekthara's compound eyes widened. "What are you talking about?" "Well, after Rodriguez brought us your integration protocols, we reached out to some of your member species. Turns out a lot of them have been looking for an excuse to leave. The Zephyrians were particularly enthusiastic, something about decades of excessive taxation and forced labor." Chen shrugged. "We offered them a defense pact and some of our shield technology. They declared independence this morning." The communication officer on the bridge began chattering frantically in Zarathi. "Sir, we're receiving similar reports from the Tau Ceti colonies, the Vegan settlements, and the—" "Silence!" Zekthara roared, then turned back to the screen. "This is an act of war." Chen's expression grew serious for the first time. "No, Admiral. This is an act of liberation. We've spent the last 6 months not just studying your empire, but offering real alternatives to your member species. Better technology, fair trade agreements, mutual defense pacts, all the things you never bothered with because you thought fear was enough." She stood up, and Zekathara noticed that her simple uniform bore insignia he hadn't seen before, symbols representing dozens of different species. "The thing about humans, Admiral, is that we're social creatures. We build alliances, not empires. We cooperate instead of conquer. And when we meet bullies," Chen's smile returned, sharp as a blade, "we laugh at them." Warning klaxons began sounding throughout the Dominion's pride as sensor readings flooded in. Ships were decloaking around the Earth, not just human vessels, but craft from dozens of species that had once served the Empire. The Zephyrian sleek cruisers, Andromedan science vessels, Centauri heavy fighters, and others, all bearing the new insignia of what appeared to be a growing alliance. "You have 24 hours to withdraw from this system," Chen said calmly. "Any Zarathi vessel that remains after that time will be treated as hostile. Oh, and Admiral? You might want to check on your other colonies. I have a feeling you're about to receive a lot more independence declarations." The transmission ended, leaving Zekathara staring at a dark screen while his bridge crew frantically tried to assess the scope of what was clearly a coordinated rebellion. For the first time in 3 centuries, the Admiral of the Zarathi Imperial Navy found himself facing an enemy that didn't fear him. Instead, they had done something far worse. They had made him irrelevant. And somewhere on the small blue world below, humans were laughing.